Hi, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Ronda Jackson on the road to recovery here today with Miss Heather Cox of Certify My Company. Thank you, Heather, for joining us.
Thank you. This is so fun.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I thought that certification would be a very relevant conversation into the current challenging times that we're having as options. So I'm looking forward to all the gold nuggets that you'll share with us today. So thank you.
Ooh, and I love talking about certification. So,
All right, good. Okay, let's start there. What is certification? And what
so
do you do? Yeah.
right. So certification. So my company is called Certify My Company, and we are a boutique organization that works with diverse businesses, diverse suppliers to help them navigate the process of diversity certification. So what does that mean? That means if a company is owned, operated, and controlled by a woman or women or members of the LGBT community or minorities or veterans or disability owned companies, we will help them navigate the certification process, help them figure out the right certification for them, and then help them get through the process so they can take advantage of all the opportunities that come along with it.
Okay, so that sounds like a new journey for some of our listeners or viewers. What do you recommend the clients do now, the ones that aren't already certified?
Well, if you're not already certified and your target clientele is the Fortune 1000 or a government agency or different states, then I definitely would recommend getting that. It's going to come up again and again and again.
Okay.
But you have to know who your target audience is. If you're like, I don't know, I sell to everybody. Well, make sure that you're investing who your client is, whether current clients or potential future clients, and see if it's something that's important to them.
Okay, so a priority for the client would make it a priority for you. I understand.
Right.
So then in today's economy, right? So let's start with you. I think you referenced big business as one of those opportunities. How would certification play in with big business?
Right. So I think there's two paths that we can talk about right now. So
Okay.
first we'll talk about businesses. If you're going for larger corporations, our corporate clients have mentioned to us that even now, and they can only see it getting more in the future, that they have a lot of requirements from states to report state diversity spend, which means that if you have a client that is doing business in Illinois or Indiana or Texas, and you know that they have a requirement to report state certified spend within that state, then that is a great opportunity to get that done now, because it does take a while and you don't your opportunity.
Okay. About how long is that window? So if I started today, it takes about...
So for the private sector, you're looking anywhere from 90 to 120 days, which is why I tell people all the time, you always want it before you need it, because once you it's too late. Now on the state side, it's anywhere from 45 days to 3 years, depending on the state.
Okay. All right. So there's a whole gamut depending on who you want to do business with. Okay.
Absolutely.
So then you said there was another path. You said that there was another opportunity for certification.
Right. So we can talk about the consumer side. So you and I are also consumers, right? We also make purchasing decisions. And one of the core values of Certify My Company is to act intentionally, to live intentionally. So when I'm out spending my own money or my company's money, I want to make sure I'm also supporting diverse owned businesses. We see a lot right now about, supporting local, small. It should also be local, small, and diverse businesses, because those companies, you and I, all of these small, diverse owned businesses are the backbone. We are, other than the federal government, the largest employer in the country. So we need to support each other. And you can do that by deciding, when you spend your money, who you are spending it with.
Okay. So, and then we can readily find these products, because some of them, I think you mentioned in our previous discussion, are marked, right? To know that
Yes.
we're dealing.
So the organization, you'll see it says women owned. And, if you go out there and you're looking, even Walmart has a whole page dedicated to women owned businesses, or you can, shop women owned. You can find any of those pieces. And if it has that women owned logo, it looks like a kind of a mini peacock it says women owned on it, you can verify, you can rest assured that it is in fact a woman owned company.
Right. Now, what's the value of a third-party certification to go through the different agencies, or if you can give us an example and share a little bit about that?
Well, all certifications are third party. There are ways that you can self-identify, but that is going away, because anyone can say they're anything on paper or in a portal. But in order to validate that you really are who you say you are, that you are owned, operated, and controlled by the demographic, whether it be disability, women, ethnic minority, LGBT, that's where that third party organizations, because they're going to vet all your documentation to make sure, from your financial documents to your legal documents and everything in between, that you really are running the show.
Okay. And then what would you say is a strategy for using certification as a market differentiator, or in this now economic unrest? What would you say would be a strategy on how to use your certification?
Well, there's a few ways. There's actually a whole program called Diversity Masterminds that teaches exactly how
Ah,
to do that.
okay.
But you can use it as a way to contact your customers. So for example, if you are just getting certified right now and you're working with someone in the Fortune 50, it's a great opportunity to reach out and say, hey, by the way, we've done business with you for the last 5 years, and now we're certified as an XYZ, as a veteran-owned company. We just wanted to let you know, and how can we help you? We talked a little bit about it before, about being that go-giver. It's such a great opportunity to ask somebody how you can help them, because it is going to come back to you, to your
Tenfold.
point, more than you sometimes realize.
Yeah.
But by offering your services or having a reason to reach out, you can also, if you're not good at what you do and you're more expensive, you're not getting the gig. I don't care how many certifications you have. But if you're really good at what you do and you're competitively priced, that differentiator is going to be enormous and can get you in the door. And at the end of the process, if it's you and someone else, it now becomes that thing that tips the scales in your favor.
I like that. So you mentioned the Diversity Mastermind. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Tell us how we can connect with that. Is there a website? Is there something that we can do to participate in that?
So it's diversitymasterminds.com.
Okay.
It's plural, diversitymasterminds.com. It's an 8-part course that teaches you how to leverage and maximize your certification.
Okay.
It is, you can buy, you can do 1 module, 2 modules, or the whole thing. They're created to be built on each other, but some people just want to work on the differentiation piece, or some people just want to work on creating their own supplier diversity program. So we also offer a la carte option.
Okay. And then if someone were interested in navigating the certification process, do you mind sharing your website as well?
Absolutely. It's called certifymycompany.com.
Okay.
And you can reach out to us. And we love talking about certification. And the first thing we're always going to do is just figure out the best certifications for you and your company, because there are a plethora of options out there, but they are not all created equal. So we want to make sure that you are getting the most bang for your buck, especially now.
Yeah, I like how you pointed out to understand what your customers' needs and priorities are before pursuing that certification. So that's a really good one. So is there any other advice, anything that you can share? Remember, this is the road to recovery. So I don't know if it's certification related or something else, something that's helped you in stabilizing, because you seem like you're doing really well, even in these uncertain times. So is there something you could share?
Well, one of the best parts about being part of any of these diversity organizations is you really get a tribe that become your cheerleaders. They become the people, waving the flags and honking the horns for you. So that does help keep the morale up. But as far as like a piece of business advice, I would say probably, and this is something totally not certification related, but I have found came in handy for myself and as well as a lot of entrepreneurs that I talk to, is banking with small businesses, but the smaller banks. They have gone out of their way to really help with these SBA loans and PPPs and other opportunities that they have. And I only heard success stories from people who bank with small regional banks. Oh, okay. No, thank you for sharing that tip. And thank you for joining us on the road to recovery, Heather. Oh, please, my pleasure. More than invaluable. Thank you for sharing your website to certifymycompany.com and the other resource of the Diversity Masterminds for us to participate in for more information. So thank you. Absolutely. And I hope that as we get a little further down this road and we're closer to whatever recovery looks like in our new normal, that you'll join us again on the show. Is that possible? Oh, I'd love to. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. Thanks for joining us.